You're watching Coffee with CraigO. I'm your host, Craig Ostrom from Coldwell Banker, helping my buyers, sellers, renters, and investors to navigate our real estate market. Today on Coffee with CraigO, I've got Tim Martin from Guarantee Rate Affinity.
Thanks for having me, Craig.
Thanks for coming on to Coffee with CraigO. No coffee today. We're just going to do water, if that's okay. I can call it out.
Nah, nothing wrong with that.
I need a break from all the coffee that I do drink. So you've been in the mortgage business for how long?
I've been doing mortgage now since 2001. So I saw the rise up to the bust and all the way back down and all the changes along the way.
All right, so I just want to start right there, right? What was that learning lesson in 2008 when the market crashed for everyone? What was that biggest learning lesson for loan officers that were going to stay in the business and this was their primary source of income?
To adapt, because the rules on a dime changed. You know, we were drinking from a fire hose with business for years, and then all of a sudden that fire hose got shut off and the rules of the game changed. So a lot of the loans we could do were no longer available, and the needs of the consumer started to change. So to adapt and be able to keep going, and the guidelines still change. You know, that's the 2008-9 meltdown is the one people refer to. The guidelines constantly change, and you have to adapt to the latest trends and the latest products.
So Coldwell Banker, Guarantee Rate Affinity, you guys are one of our in-house primary services.
Absolutely, partners.
Okay? Which is great because there's a lot of great tools and technology that you guys have at your fingertips that you offer as a tremendous value to our buyers. Tell us a couple of those tools that you have.
Well, I think the first and foremost benefit I see in the relationship is the accountability that we have to each other. You always know I have, your client's best interest, as do I know you have them. But from a tools and a technology perspective, just as we were talking about, you do have to adapt, and technology is in everything right now. You're great with technology and a lot of the social media and stuff that you do. We use digital mortgage. We're taking clients' information securely from the convenience of their device and their location to fill out applications, securely transferring documentation through us for pay stubs and W-2s, tax returns through our system called Transfer Safe, which keeps that information safe and allows them to quickly get it over to us. And we're utilizing any technology tricks and we can use to streamline the process. We have Account Check, for example, where we can quickly pull all the client's account data over and then refresh it if necessary later in the transaction without them having to send us a new round of bank statements. It's a big time saver. So anything we can use to make it easier, smoother, and just more efficient, we're game for trying.
Two things, right? One is emotions, the other is economics. So we talked a little bit about the economics as far as some of the technology tools that you guys at Guarantee Rate Affinity have at your fingertips. But let's talk about those relationships and the emotions and how important that is, because it is buyer psychology. Tell me a little bit about how you figure out buyer psychology and how it works in your part of the business.
100%. So this is not just a widgets business. We're dealing with people purchasing a home, obtaining financing for hundreds of thousands of dollars. They're anxious. It affects their families. It affects their home base. And you have to be conscious of that. You have to keep in mind that they're going to be nervous. They're going to have questions. They're going to want to talk to you in the evening and on the weekends, and you need to be available and responsive. I try to remember how exciting and how anxious it can be, when you're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars and moving, and not lose touch of that. My most important job is to be a guide, right? It's something we do a couple times in our life. Moving, you helping them find the right home, me helping them finance the right home. And it's different. Even if they've done it 10 years ago, the process has changed significantly. So my job is to guide them through that process and consult them on what their options are. Not to make decisions for them, but to say, hey, we could do it this way, and here's the pros and cons. Or we could do it that way, and here's the pros and cons. And where does this fit with, where your pain points or your concerns are? And just trying to identify really what the client, where the client's, whether it be their frustration or their concern or their anxiety is coming from, and how I can best, help ease them through the process to a successful closing.
No, I mean, we are completely in not only the technology part of the business, which you have seen drastically from 2001, right, till now, all the social media platforms, how we're connecting, how we're building relationships. And then you're right, we're not in the widgets business, but it is important that for our clients, they understand that we understand on a deeper level technology integration, how to utilize social platforms, how to spot opportunities. One thing I do want to talk to you about a little bit more and go into detail is transparency, right? So there's a negotiation where if I'm in negotiation with the sellers and they have other offers on the table, I am trying my very best to give my client the fighting chance to capture that home.
Oh,
so
absolutely.
our communication has to be 110% as well as the client's. What have you seen over time where people get lost in the communication doldrum, as I like to call it? They fall into this closet and they're not able to get out, and the deal falls apart, and then the buyer's just looking for someone to point the finger at. And the seller's angry because they might have gotten into contract, now they're bringing it back on the market.
Right.
Tell me a little bit about that from your angle.
Right. And you know this being a listing agent, right? When you get an offer, price is important, but you're looking at the whole package, the terms, the down payment, who are the parties, what kind of loan are they doing? So your reputation is a lot in this business. My reputation is, as is yours, way more important than any one transaction, right? So that reputation's been built over the years. So my clients are in a multiple bid situation, or a situation where maybe a seller is concerned because they're not putting a lot of money down, or they're asking for something a little out of the ordinary. I hope that they see that when working with me, their agent can say, hey, Tim's got this. Tim's local. He's done this successfully many times over. Any real estate agent, buyer or seller, is welcome to reach out to me. Now, there's things I can't discuss, of course, in keeping our buyers' information secure. But if they want to know things like, hey, have you verified this client's income? Have you verified their credit? Absolutely. That's part of our standard protocol here when we do a pre-approval. But not all mortgage companies do that. And you said technology. Technology is key to our business. But there's a lot of people that use technology for the sake of using technology. We try to use technology either to make the process easier and faster for the client, or we're using technology to make it more secure and safe with their information transferred. And I think that's something important. Information integrity and security is really important, and I don't know that every mortgage company and loan officer takes it to the same degree of seriousness that we do.
Yeah, I have a conversation with a lot of our realtors because one of the things that I've really excelled in since I've gotten on board of being a realtor was the ability to adapt the technology. And if I could get ahead of that curve, it would allow me to best serve my clients when I'm listing a property. So I say it's promotion and marketing of a property online, but also being proactive to make those phone calls, to connect with other agents, to build that network. How important has the agent to agent or the agent to loan officer relationship been for you?
So it's the key to my business, right? I am 100% referral based. I am looking to build those relationships and to add value to your business, so you can add value to your client's business. The agent's the hub of the deal, right? You're strategizing with the attorney and the loan officer and the client, and you're the one that's there in the car showing them homes and knowing what their family's looking for. So my job is not to it's to supplement that. It's to fill the financing part of this overall transaction that's going on.
It's complement it.
It really is. Yeah. It's to work as a team and with the other parties that are involved to keep everything moving, to make the experience great for the client is really what it comes down to.
I'm so grateful that I got to have you on Coffee with CraigO. Guys, thanks so much for tuning in. I'm Craig Ostrom from Coldwell Banker, helping my buyers and sellers to navigate the crazy real estate market. And Tim Martin, one of our primary services at Guaranteed Rate Affinity. Thanks so much, Tim.
Thanks for having me.